Who should own a life insurance? How about you?
Who should own life insurance? Well, if you're talking about who should buy life insurance, I think the answer is everyone. And Kevin talked about some of the reasons why someone, whether it was middle class, upper middle class, someone who was wealthy would have that.
I want to interrupt here for 1 second. When we say upper class or class, we don't classify people. It's just a terminology that we use. There's nobody upper class or middle class. I just want to make sure of that. That's just a figure of speech to put things in a perspective. Okay, go ahead.
Now, in terms of the actual ownership of the policy, it has to do with what the purpose of the life insurance is for, how much the person buying the life insurance is worth, how that would pass to their heirs. You know, what is the purpose of it? Is it a term insurance policy? And I know we're going to probably get into some of that later. Or is it some type of a cash value policy that they're going to be using during their lifetime? It may be owned by the individual or the insured. It may be owned by a trust, as Kevin started to get into.
Okay.
You know, whether or not you have some estate issues that you're trying to keep that money outside of an estate, it may make sense to have it inside an ILIT or an irrevocable life insurance trust at that point.
This is all going back to the comment that life insurance is not just for leaving some money for the heirs or for the final expenses. It goes beyond that.
That's correct.
It's my understanding this, right?
That's correct.
And
life insurance goes back a long way, and back to the feudal system, back in the guild system and the banking system back in England was where it really sort of arose. And the idea was, back in those days, to make it very primitive, was you had everybody in a community would chip in if somebody was left as a widow or a widower, and everybody in the community would put in $1 or whatever, and 6 pence or whatever it was, so that they could provide for that family and help that family. So then the idea evolved that perhaps you could fund that in advance of death and have that cash waiting.
And the insurance people started getting in.
And there are insurance companies in the United States of America have been around for 150 years.